Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Austrian machine who turned muscle into mythology and Hollywood into his playground. Sylvester Stallone, the underdog who wrote his own legend and became the face of grit for generations. Jackie Chan, the fearless stunt poet who blended danger with comedy like no one else ever could. Dwayne Johnson, the charismatic powerhouse who transformed wrestling swagger into global superstardom. Tom Cruise, the ageless action daredevil who still risks everything for the perfect shot. Leonardo DiCaprio, the prodigy who grew into a powerhouse, captivating the world with every tortured character. Keanu Reeves, the quiet storm whose humility and grit made him Hollywood's eternal enigma. Brad Pitt, the effortless heartthrob who evolved into one of cinema's most nuanced performers. Will Smith, the magnetic entertainer who turned charisma into a global brand. Robert Downey Jr., the comeback king who rose from chaos to become the heart of a billion-dollar universe. Cristiano Ronaldo, the perfectionist machine, whose discipline turned talent into immortality. Lionel Messi, the silent magician whose feet painted poetry across every pitch he touched. Michael Jordan, the air-walking icon who didn't just change basketball, he changed culture. LeBron James, the chosen one who carried the weight of expectation and still rewrote history. Kobe Bryant, the relentless warrior whose Mamba mentality continues to define greatness. Serena Williams, the unstoppable queen who turned power into poetry and domination into legacy. Tiger Woods, the prodigy who rebuilt himself again and again, redefining resilience. Mike Tyson, the explosive gladiator whose fists shook the world before wisdom softened the storm. Usain Bolt, the lightning bolt, who made speed look effortless and history look slow. David Beckham, the elegant playmaker who turned precision into a global fashion empire. Vin Diesel, the gravel-voiced action star who built a family on screen and a legacy off it. Jason Statham, the British bruiser whose raw intensity made him the face of modern action. Bruce Willis, the everyman hero whose smirk and courage defined the golden age of action films. Matt Damon, the born genius who balanced blockbuster swagger with real-world depth. Johnny Depp, the eccentric chameleon who turned characters into living art. Shaquille O'Neal, the gentle giant whose dominance on the court only matched his humor off it. Magic Johnson, the smiling superstar who transformed basketball into pure entertainment. Neymar, the dazzling trickster whose flair and fire made every match a spectacle. Roger Federer, the Swiss artist whose elegance turned tennis into ballet. Conor McGregor, the Irish Storm who blended bravado with brilliance and changed MMA forever. Samuel L. Jackson, the cinematic thunder whose voice alone can command an entire room. Harrison Ford, the rugged explorer whose adventures shaped our imagination. Al Pacino, the volcanic actor whose intensity still burns through every scene. Morgan Freeman, the wise storyteller whose voice became the soundtrack of wisdom. Mark Wahlberg, the relentless hustler whose work ethic became his superpower. Chris Hemsworth, the modern Norse god whose charm matched his power. Gal Gadot, the warrior woman whose grace brought new life to an iconic hero. Angelina Jolie, the enigmatic beauty whose strength radiates far beyond the screen. Charlize Theron, the South African powerhouse who turned elegance into pure ferocity. Jennifer Lopez, the unstoppable triple threat whose glow refuses to fade. Zac Efron, the teen idol who evolved into a rugged, disciplined Hollywood survivor. Robert Pattinson, the unexpected master of art house grit and blockbuster darkness. Hugh Jackman, the showman whose versatility made Wolverine immortal. Chris Evans, the clean-cut hero whose charm turned sincerity into strength. Ben Affleck, the comeback storyteller who turned his real struggles into raw performances. Rihanna, the fearless fashion disruptor who turned music, beauty, and identity into an empire. Beyoncé, the reigning queen whose discipline crafted one of the greatest careers ever seen. Eminem, the lyrical hurricane whose pain and precision reshaped rap forever. Drake, the soft-spoken hitmaker who turned vulnerability into dominance. Taylor Swift, the storytelling superstar whose reinventions made her the voice of a generation.